Hey y'all, I'm Lauren Gay, the Outdoorsy Diva, and I'm about to show you what happens when a group of black folks get together to celebrate MLK Weekend on the slopes. It's an early morning, we are on our way to the mountain. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the mountain is called. I'm gonna find out, I'm gonna tell you in a minute. I've confirmed it is Sunday River is the mountain that we're heading to. I think it's about a 2-hour drive north of Portland, Maine. It's 7 a.m. and we're ready to roll. So let's see if I can be convinced to like skiing this time around. As y'all know, my first time was not super successful, but I've never had a proper lesson, so I'm really looking forward to my ski lesson today. This is the second year Black Travel Maine has hosted an MLK ski weekend in Portland, Maine. The group is comprised of people from all over the country, and we even had a few teenagers. And most of us were novices, though there were a handful of experienced skiers in the group. And when we arrived to the mountain, apparently MLK Ski Weekend is a busy ski weekend for the resort. Sunday River got us all checked in and we signed our lives away, got our access cards for the day, and then it was time to get fitted for those super uncomfortable ski boots. That part I do remember. Unfortunately, nothing about that process has changed. They were just as uncomfortable as I remember the last time. But here is an important lesson. While ski boots are not inherently comfortable, you also should not be in pain. And so in this instance, as I was being fitted for the boots, I kept telling her my left boot was too tight. My feet are actually two whole half sizes different, and she just wasn't listening to me. She kept saying, oh, you have to get used to it. Oh, when you stand on it, it's gonna get better. It never got better. So when I got outside and I mentioned to the instructor just how much pain I was in, he's like, no, that is not right. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to get through the whole lesson if you're in pain. Go inside and have them refit you. And so that's a really important lesson. You have to advocate for it yourself. And I think sometimes just because you're a novice and you may not know, you tend to rely on the people that are supposed to be the experts. But when it comes down to it, listen to your gut and your body. So we've all got our gear. We're getting ready for our ski lesson. So we are here in snow school. Our instructor's name was Frank, and God bless him. He was so patient with us. And that tube over there to the right is kind of like a ski escalator. You have to get on it and ride up, and then it lets you off at the top of the bunny slope. And this is me, looking a mess, but I'm getting my Pete's on, and it's working.
Thank you, Frank. Best teacher ever.
I was having a good time over here on the bunny slopes, honey, but I did not get my turns down just yet. So I think I need more lessons.
So this is like my, what is this, fifth time?
Yeah, it's at least the fifth time.
I think it's our fifth time. That's my instructor,
Yeah,
Frank.
we're doing good.
Frank said I'm doing very good.
Very marvelous. You know, you got bragging rights tonight.
I mean, this is still the bunny slope, but I will take it. I don't hate skiing anymore. I don't love it yet, but I don't hate it. This is wildly uncomfortable, but I tried it. I don't know about going on the lift, y'all. I don't know. It remains to be seen. Look, okay, so I just finished my first ski lesson, and I did not fall. So we're gonna count that as a win. And now I'm about to go get my après ski on. Whew. So I took a break, got some hot chocolate, and I went back out to do another run. And I'm cramping up. Oh, this is the real. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I had a cramp in my ankle and in my foot. Oh, Jesus, it hurts so bad. It's been a great day here at Sunday River. We just had a nice lunch in the lodge, and it's actually snowing out here, guys, but we all made it in one piece. No, I did not leave the bunny slopes, but I did not fall. But this was the most comfortable that I felt. So I don't love skiing yet. I don't hate it. And I'm going to take another lesson. When we got back to our hotel, it was time for some much needed downtime. We just talked around the fire. Some people were knitting, and it was a nice chill vibe. And then later on, after dinner, we had a nice little happy hour gathering where we had drinks and a DJ, and it was just a real chill evening. And a local must-do when you visit Portland, Maine is the Holy Donut. They are famous for these potato donuts, and they have all these different flavors. The lemon was my favorite. On our final full day, we had our Black History walking tour through downtown Portland, Maine. And it was really cool that this event was open to the public to join us. So Black Travel Maine is hosting a Black History Walk here through the streets of downtown Portland, Maine.
My name is Marita McKenzie. I'm a retired teacher from Portland Schools.
As Marita guided us through this walk-in tour of Portland, she shared a lot of her personal family history. She's actually a 9th generation Portland, Maine resident. And one of the most fascinating but also disheartening things we learned was that Portland, Maine was actually still very much legally segregated well up into the early 1970s. I believe she said it was 1971 where they actually passed laws to make things integrated.
These are my grandparents.
Oh, wow.
This is my grandmother, Florence Eastman Williams. This is my grandfather, Mitchell Williams. They were both born in Portland. My grandmother is the one that has the long line of longevity.
We were fascinated to learn that Marita's grandfather, pictured here, actually got second place in the famous Peaks Island to Portland open water swim contest. A Black man winning a contest like this in the 1920s, that is absolutely amazing. We also heard from Bob Shepard, who moved to Maine in the 1970s with his father, James Shepard, who was a Tuskegee Airman.
Was a Tuskegee Airman, served with 332nd Fighter Group during World War II. And in doing some research on the Tuskegee Airmen, found that there are 2 other men with connections to the state of Maine who were Tuskegee. One was Sonny Jackson, who was a graduate of Portland High School. We're going to see in a little bit. He graduated in 1941. And Sonny was technically oriented kind of guy, like to fix things, take radios apart, put them back together usually. Sonny joined Sonny wanted to join the Army Air Corps, but at that time there weren't roles for African Americans. This was before Tuskegee Institute started training people down in Alabama. Sonny actually tried to join the Royal Canadian Air Force, as a lot of Black Americans did at that time, but was rejected. Finally, after the Tuskegee aviation experiment began, he ended up in Tuskegee and served overseas with my dad, where he was a communications technician. So he fixed radios and a lot of the instruments on the fighter planes as well.
Along the way, we saw these Freedom Trail markers, which mark important Black history along the way. This one actually happened to be Marita's father. Our tour ended at the Abyssinian Meeting House, which is the 3rd oldest standing meeting house in the country. And I couldn't leave Maine without checking off one more very important bucket list item. We are here at Fort Williams Park, and this is the Port Headlands Lighthouse just there behind me. So let's go check it out. And here it is, a real live Portland lighthouse. It looks just like a postcard, right? It's actually one of the most photographed lighthouses in Maine, and it was actually on a mural in the Portland airport. And later on that night, the all-black party was a really fun way to end the weekend. On MLK morning, before we all departed, we gathered for a commemorative breakfast. We reflected on community and some of the things that we want to take back to our respective towns to continue to make a lasting impact. I leave you with some powerful nuggets of our facilitator, Tanisha Arena.
Dr. King said there were 3 things plaguing this country: racism, militarism, and exploitation of the poor. They're all tied together, and you can't get rid of one without getting rid of the other. Now you tell me, what is so different in 2025, 60 years later? Dr. King was clear in his analysis of a class war taking place in this country. We are still in that class war, and it's the billionaire class versus everyone else. And guess what? We are team everyone else. King said, it really boils down to this, that all life is interrelated. We are all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. In short, we are all each other's business. When we show up for one another, we are undefeated. And we need us more than ever. Now, we can't sit this one out because King told us freedom only comes through persistent revolt, through persistent agitation, through persistently rising up against the system of evil.
Black joy is revolutionary. Thanks to Black Travel Maine for creating a safe haven for Black people to experience joy and adventure.